In the days of Elijah, Israel was immersed in spiritual confusion. The people had turned away from the Lord, following idols and paths of corruption. But then Elijah appeared, a simple and fearless man who stood before King Ahab and boldly declared, "As the Lord, the God of Israel, lives, there will be neither dew nor rain except at my word." A terrible drought was coming, not as a natural accident, but as God's judgment to call the people back to his presence. Obeying the divine command, Elijah took refuge by the brook of Korath. There, in the silence of solitude, he was sustained in a surprising way. Ravens brought him bread and meat every morning and evening. Imagine that, unclean birds in the eyes of Jewish law, now being instruments of the living God's provision. But when the brook dried up, Elijah did not lose heart. He knew the mission was not over. God sent him to Zarephath, outside of Israel. There, he met a desperate widow gathering sticks to prepare her last meal before dying of hunger with her son. Elijah asked her to make a small loaf for him first and then declared God's promise, "The Lord will provide, the flour and the oil will not run out." Against all odds, the miracle happened day after day. The flour and oil never ran out. God not only sustains, he surprises with his generosity. But the struggle was not over yet. The widow's son became ill and died. Through tears and anguish, she cried out to Elijah. The prophet took the boy in his arms, carried him to the upper room, prayed fervently, and stretched himself over the child 3 times. Then life returned. Elijah came down with the boy alive in his arms and gave him back to his mother. The widow, now full of faith, declared, "Now I know that you are a man of God and that the word of the Lord is truth." 3 years later, the drought had devastated the land. Elijah received a new command, to present himself before King Ahab. The scorching sun burned the cracked ground, and the people were starving. The fearless prophet faced the most powerful man in Israel. When Ahab accused him of bringing trouble to the nation, Elijah boldly replied, "I am not the one who causes trouble, but you and your father's house, because you have abandoned the commandments of the Lord." Then the challenge was set: gather all the people on Mount Carmel so that the true God might be revealed. The story of Elijah shows us that true faith does not depend on circumstances. Even in drought, scarcity, and pain, God remains the source of life. He sustains, he surprises, and he brings victory where there once seemed to be only defeat. The question is, whom do you trust? When everything around you seems dry, stand firm in the Lord, because the God who answered Elijah on Mount Carmel is the same God who can answer in your life today. Subscribe to the channel and share this message. God bless you.